Бабо, гледах как се правят канелени ролца. Ти знаеш ли рецепта да ми я покажеш?
Ще тия канелени ролца, бе. Ние канелата само на мляко сори се слагаме.
Ние, американците, много ги обичат. Тесто с пълнейшо от захар и канела и го завиват на роло. И така.
Абе, мани ги тия, бе. Ела тук ще покажа моето роло с мармалад, да видиш на какво са вика роло.
Аз не знаех, че можеш да правиш такива рола.
Баба ти колко рола е завъртяла.
Hi there, comrades! Today I'll be showing you an old-time classic from my childhood. Typically we have here these store-bought Swiss rolls, which actually don't taste very bad, but how should I say, they have a cheap taste. And they were one of the classic choices to buy from the store back in the day. But eventually, as you can imagine, mamushkas and babushkas found a way how to prepare them in a better way at home. I remember how my mother used to prepare them when I was a kid, and I enjoyed them all the time. Every time the filling was different. Sometimes it was jam, other times was a pastry cream, and in those special moments it was chocolate. So I wanted to share with you the homemade version of these nice sweet rolls. I consulted with my mother on the recipe, gave it a few tries just to make sure I can prepare it in a nice way, and it turned out to be easier than I imagined and very tasty. Also, it doesn't need a ton of products and it is very cheap to prepare. I'm not sure how much the food costs where you live, but here it costs around 2 levs, which is around €1, which is around $1.20. But of course, this cost may vary based on the filling you choose. It can be cheap, but in the same time it is very tasty and light dessert. With it you can satisfy your sweet tooth without spending a ton of calories while preparing it for the whole extended family. I assure you that everyone at home will like it. You can experiment quite a lot with the fillings, plus for the bonus round I'll show you how to prepare a very quick and easy strawberry jam. So without further ado, let's see what's the Slav shopping list for today. We will need 6 tablespoons of sugar or 120 grams of white date, whatever you want, 6 tablespoons of starchy white date, also known as flour, 6 whole eggs, 666, the number of the row. We'll need some vanilla, the artificial kind, or you can use like natural one, but it's hard to find for me. Some baking powder, some jam or marmalade, this is homemade one. Stick for the bonus round to see how to prepare a quick version of it. And some capitalistic instruments for cooking, such as spatula, a bowl, and a Skynet utensil. After that you enter the secret codes for the Slavic sequence for making Slav sweet rolls. Unleash the power of your chicken shelled grenades. I was about to say a next joke, but I am not sure how to express myself at the moment, so please excuse me. Make this sweet by using the one and only measuring tool known to a man, a spoon. Take 6 of these into the X. Take another white powder and throw it in. Chill, this is only vanilla. Find out how to assemble your mixer and start mixing on high. The egg should get foamy with the sugar and thicken a little bit. Take your time, trust me, this will make the roll puffy and soft. After the eggs are ready, take the universal measurement unit and add 6 of it in a bowl. I recommend sifting the flour. This will add more air into our roll and make it even softer. Adding some baking powder into the flour, 10 grams will do the job, and mix with a whisk. Add the flour into the egg mixture and mix well with the mixer. Make sure there are no clumps. After that, take a baking sheet. Make sure to add parchment paper. It is essential for this, otherwise the roll will stick and will end up with a huge mess. I know that from a friend of mine. Pour the mixture into it and make sure to spread it evenly. I use a spatula for that. The mix will be quite runny, but don't worry, this is the intent. We bake it on 180 Celsius or 356 Fahrenheit for 15 to 20 minutes. But make sure to watch the color. When it starts to get golden, it is ready. It should not get brown, as this will mess up the raw softness. Prepare a piece of paper while it is baking. Open up some homemade jam. This is made out of peaches from my mother's garden. It's pure gold if you ask me. Make sure not to eat it all, as we'll need it. You can use any type of jam or even chocolate, by the way. Meanwhile, our not yet rolled roll is golden brown and ready. Look at that nice color. Cover it with the paper as it's still in the baking sheet and turn it upside down really quick. Gently remove the baking paper until it is hot. Make sure to be careful. Roll it with the paper so it knows what its future form will be. This will make it easier for rolling, trust me. Spread some jam all over it. Be generous. The more jam the better if you ask me. I love it. Spread the jam really well with a spoon or a spatula until it looks like that. After that, gently roll. Be careful not to crack it. Leave it rolled with the paper for some time. This will help with keeping its form. After that, give it a cross section and yeah, it's nice if you ask me. Bonus Slavness. Well, for the bonus round, as I said, we'll be preparing a homemade strawberry jam, which you can eventually use for this roll. Keep in mind this jam is for quick consumption. I haven't tried storing it for the winter, as I can make it with frozen fruit whenever I want. Get a kilogram of strawberries, sprinkle them with 100 grams of sugar and mash them well. I'll be using a geofix powder developed by some capitalistic dog called Yotker. It has instructions on how to prepare jam and I just followed them, but I reduced the sugar by half. Mix geofix powder with some sugar and throw it in the berries. Mix until well incorporated. Transfer it to a pot and bring to a boil, while constantly stirring, of course. Make sure to cook on medium, as you don't want burning strawberry jam all over your hands. When it starts boiling, add 10 grams of citric acid. This will help with the consistency. It will become more like jelly. Cook for 3 to 4 more minutes and it's done. Transfer it to a jar. Close them up, seal them, the other word, and turn them upside down for 5 to 10 minutes. After that, leave it to cool and store it in the fridge. It lasts a long time, 4 to 5 weeks. Slav difficulty level, well, I would say 4 out of 5. This is quite tricky recipes with its tricky moments, especially with baking the roll and rolling it without cracking. It's quite tricky, as I said. If you're doing it for the first time, it may be very hard for you. That's why I give it 4 out of 5.
Ignore the passing cars and the traffic. In Slav lands we have a lot of traffic because we have old cars. Let's have a taste test. I would say it's nice. It's not very sweet. It can take more jam, of course. The more jam the better. So yeah, if you like something sweet but in the same time not so sweet, this roll is perfect for you. You can eat it like that, by the way, but yeah, don't do it. That's all from me, comrades. Slav you next time.
Energy. The nutrition values for 100 grams of roll are 180 calories, 29 carbs, 7 protein and 4 fat. If you eat it whole, make sure Babushka won't see you. Slav you next time.